But what do we need to stay out of a nursing home, to be strong and able to use muscles and bone as a longevity organ? We need strength, which is higher loads, fewer reps, and we need power.
Hey everybody, I'm Lori Schulwitz.
And I'm Jen Giamo.
And welcome to another episode of Everybody Talks, the podcast where we explore the wide world of wellness. Sometimes we talk to experts, sometimes we just talk to each other, and we're always talking to you. And if you want to watch this episode, and you should, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe right now at Everybody Talks Podcast.
Every week we discuss topics from nutrition and exercise to mindfulness and self-care. And today we are talking about your bones. We're talking to a double board certified orthopedic surgeon, internationally recognized researcher, and New York Times bestselling author who's dedicated her 25-year career to revolutionizing how we age. As the founding director of Performance and Research Initiative for Masters Athletes, Prima, her pioneering research in mobility and musculoskeletal aging is changing the way medicine views and treats the aging process. She's trained at some of the world's most prestigious institutions, earning her medical degree from the University of Chicago, completing her orthopedic surgery residency at the University of Pittsburgh, and her fellowship in sports and shoulder surgery at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York.
Beyond the operating room, she's a sought-after media expert, regularly appearing on Dr. Oz and the Doctors, and frequently quoted in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and USA Today. She hosts the podcast Hot, HOT for Your Health, and has authored 6 books on active aging and performance optimization. Her latest book, Unbreakable, became a New York Times bestseller by addressing what she calls the Musculoskeletal Syndrome of Menopause, empowering women to build strength, resilience, and independence as they age. Please welcome to Everybody Talks, Dr. Vonda Wright. Vonda, welcome so much. Welcome so much.
Welcome so much.
That's like my catchphrase. It's a combination of welcome and thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it's welcome very much.
I'm so thrilled to be here.
Yes, we met you briefly at the Menopause Summit a few months ago, and we love talking to you so much that we wanted to have you back immediately.
We needed to talk longer
about the bones. So we appreciate your taking the time.
Who would have thought that menopause would play Broadway at the Palladium?
Right?
It's amazing how high we've risen. We're a Broadway show.
I know.
Isn't that funny?
It's so crazy.
It's like we went from not even talking about it to now on like
it's
center
like
stage.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
It's awesome.
So it's just
Thank
the
God.
beginning. I know. Thank God. So, I mean, I think your background is interesting also, like how you found your way into orthopedics and your own kind of unbreakable journey. So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about that, and then we can move forward and ask you like our personal questions,
because
we have you
do.
as a captive audience. So
curbside.
Yes.
So I think what you're referring to is actually my first career in medicine was as a cancer nurse, right? So I get out of college. It was so long ago. There was such a shortage of nurses then in 1989 when I got out of college that if you had a legitimate degree, which I did, you could go. And in 3 years, it was insane. I could only do this because I was 22 years old. In 3 years, I got another bachelor's degree and a master's degree in cancer nursing, and then spent 6 years not only at the bedside of mostly women going through cancer care, but doing it a way that was called primary nursing, which at that time in the evolution of care, if you were coming in once a month for a whole week, which is how it was done then, I would be your nurse for 6 months. So you can imagine the kind of therapeutic relationships that go on between women in the struggle of their lives and the person taking care of you night and day, right? So I say all that to say it really formulated in my young 22, 23-year-old mind the value of women, the value of women's health, how hard sometimes health can be, and yet everybody going through that is just doing the best they can, because you know what I would do at night with some women? We'd be shopping QVC all night long because I'm like, what are we doing that? It's because we're trying to feel normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the midst of the most abnormal situation imaginable, we're just trying to feel normal. So I took that with me, and then after about 6 years decided that what was my next step in medicine. And the long and short is I decided med school, and in med school I decided to be a surgeon. And and everybody thought I would go back to doing oncology, which would have made sense. But for many reasons, I decided to do orthopedics because we get to treat people from birth to death in a very aspirational way, meaning I am literally helping you walk again or
Yeah, wow.
making your shoulder work again so that you can go on and live the life you envision, right? So while there is acute injury care, disease care, most of what I do is preparing people for living healthy, successful, prosperous lives. So who wouldn't want to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
absolutely. I know.
I love, how I feel like so many times nurses don't think that they could be doctors, or they just think that they're in this and they're, this is what they're meant to do. But I love that you kind of were like, no, I'm going to go to med
Yeah.
school and I'm going to do this.
Well, the reality is I'm a much better doctor because I was a nurse, because it is the nurses who live at the bedside with people.
1,000%.
It is the nurses.
Yeah, that's what I think is so great, is
Yeah.
that you were like sort of on like the front line of that to see. So you have this combination of that compassionate care as a nurse, and then the actual, the surgical side, which
Yeah.
to me blows my mind. When I like the fact that we're talking to you and like you've done surgery on bones.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Last week I did surgery. Yeah.
When her boyfriend had his knees replaced, she looked
right.
up the surgery and watched it
watched it.
online. And I'm like,
now that might
not
have been
for
a
me.
mistake. That might have been too much information. Just because it's a little like carpentry. That surgery is like carpentry, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But that fascinates me. I mean, I could never
Yeah.
do it, but I really like to watch it and see. I don't know. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So talk to us about, so we want to talk about Unbreakable,
Yeah.
and you share your story in there about your own story of unintentional neglect. Tell us what that means.
Yeah.
So I did what so many women do in high capacity, people with high capacity everything. I think most women are high capacity, meaning all this training we were talking about. I get out, and around 40, I had my daughter Isabella at a time when, I like to say this and rib the OBs. They're like, you called me a geriatric mother. I mean, come on.
I know.
I was in the best shape of my life. I'm training for doing brick workouts for triathlon. I mean, I was building a big career, right? I was a head doctor for the University of Pittsburgh football team. I'm a geriatric mother, please. So, but I do that.
Yeah.
And then I breastfeed her for more than a year, and then she started like going, that's too much work for me. I would have done it forever. But listen, next time we're out together, I'm going to tell you about pumping in the Steelers locker room.
Oh my God.
I
love
know.
that.
Women have to do whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hauling my pump into the football field, and at halftime, while everybody else is doing whatever they're pep talking, I'm in the locker room pumping. Okay, so it goes on and on, right? And I go through, I'm raising this baby, I'm building a big career. And at that time, I was not a menopause and midlife expert. I was a longevity person because all of my research has been in musculoskeletal longevity, proving things like we can keep our bones and our muscles and our brains if we do all the things I talk about in Unbreakable. But I did not know what hit me when I was 47, when I hit a brick wall. And like so many other women, I had brain fog so badly as estrogen walks out the door and my little brain receptors are going, give me more. I couldn't remember nouns, right?
Wow.
I could say, I need the thing that does this. Give me the thing that does this. I couldn't rember that it was
As
an
a surgeon,
Yes.
as a surgeon,
Surgeon,
that's a little
that's a little-
scary.
No, my patients should not be afraid. I could remember the surgery, but the name of it was frightening. And so I
That's
started
crazy.
looking up early signs of Alzheimer's. I literally did. I wasn't sleeping like so many women didn't sleep. I had always been fit as an athlete, and I had gained those hateful pounds and not changing anything I did. And it was frightening to me, but nothing more frightening than waking up in the middle of the night, okay, drenched, that was one thing, with heart palpitations. And I thought I was dying because my family dies of heart disease.
Right.
I didn't realize that heart palpitations could also. So I call my cardiologist. His name is Ricky Manelli. I'm like, Ricky, you've got to help me. So he brings me in. He puts me on a treadmill. He does the whole echo. He's like, Von, nothing's wrong with you.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with my heart, thank God. But I didn't at that time know what the cataclysmic falling off the earth was. And it was perimenopause, right? Now, had I known, oh my God, I would have done the 40s so differently had I known. And so it's one of my goals is to that the young millennial women, and definitely my daughters, I have a bunch of millennial daughters, they're never going to have to go through that.
Yeah.
I know.
Which is amazing.
I have to say that my favorite thing about your book that you kept repeating, because this is the question I always ask, because I'm older than Jen and you, is you kept saying it's never too late to reverse this.
Oh my God.
That was my favorite thing, because I feel like it's always too late. Like I feel like I wish I had known, just as you're telling that story about you on the treadmill and the stress test, I am remembering I had a similar thing when I was at the office and my boss sent me directly to the doctor. They're like, don't screw around with your heart. But I was in my 50s and now I'm realizing for the first time that it was probably this perimenopause
It
that
could
they
be.
sent me. And I walked around with a heart monitor for 24 hours. I had to sleep with it and nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, thank God they took you seriously, because
I know.
often for women and heart problems, they send us home to take a nap because we present differently than men. But thank God both of our doctors took us seriously.
Totally.
Maybe it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you. So like when that was happening and you were 47, you had a 7-year-old.
Yes, I did.
I mean, that must have been confusing because I wouldn't think, I mean, at that age, I wouldn't think that, I mean, now I know, but then I wouldn't have thought like perimenopause, you're 47, you have a 7-year-old daughter. You know, this can't be possible.
Right.
Well, I probably didn't think I was ever going to age.
Right.
I was probably
still don't
just
think that.
cocky enough to think I've got this.
I know.
But I forgot the whole estrogen walking out the door thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you look objectively, let's say estrogen didn't matter. Well, I was doing all the right things and I was getting the results I wanted and I had the energy and the capacity. But when estrogen walks out, the whole game changes because men and women age differently. Men will age in a slow, steady decline like this. Not women. We go along and then whammo, we have these perimenopause. And for a while, our hormones are like this and then they're like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing unnatural than that. It's the way we're designed, except we need to know it's coming so that we can know how to get in front of it. And that's what Unbreakable is all about, is how to build the shields that will prevent us from simply being a victim of aging.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And you talk about the musculoskeletal syndrome of menopause. And I think that's so important for women to understand it. It's, you know, why do you think that that's been so overlooked in women's health?
Well, I'm going to tell you a statistic that's going to blow you away. Because as I was researching the paper that we produced a July and a half ago, which has now been downloaded 450,000 times, which is huge for a research paper. Like there is no other paper. I mean, there may be, but I don't know of one. I came across these data that the first time one of the musculoskeletal syndrome of menopause symptoms, because there's many, arthralgia, joint pain, which is joint pain, arthritis, loss of bone, loss of muscle, loss of cartilage, lots of things. The first time one was described, it was called The Arthritis of Menopause by a Dr. Noble. Do you know when that was? 1925. Fully 100 years ago.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
What?
This doctor, I know. What did we do with that information? Was it banned? Was it burned in a file? We've known for 100 years that there is something going on during menopause that causes women to have a rapid increase in their cartilage wear, which is arthritis. I mean, come on. How
Ay,
could
ay,
we have
ay.
let that one drop?
Right.
Well, we did let it drop because it's like this novel concept. There's nothing novel about it. The cartilage, which is the smoother than ice tip of bones, it's a matrix, has estrogen receptors. And without estrogen, the matrix breaks down. And women are all of a sudden like, my knees didn't used to hurt. Now my knees are hurting.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Yes.
100 years, ladies.
Yes.
And so
Jeez.
as I was investigating my own arthralgia, I had arthralgia, which is total body pain, right? I'm an athlete. I don't hurt unless I exert myself. All of a sudden, I could barely get out of bed. It was so painful. As I started to research all the musculoskeletal things, the frozen shoulder, the arthralgia, I found more. Number one, I found too little data. The data I found was really old. Like, we've known about this. But isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
why do you think that was something that was just not pursued? It was buried for reasons that we
know,
now.
that's a good question. I don't think it was maliciously buried. I don't think that there was a grand conspiracy. But here's what I think. Like so many other places in medicine, the research is performed without women having a seat at the research table. There's a limited amount of money. So what we did for the last 150 years was study one group of people and apply it to everybody, which works for nobody. And on top of that, ladies, I am one of only 6% of all orthopedic surgeons who were born with ovaries. And so in a world where nobody has the benefit of ovaries, nobody's going to care.
No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares.
I think that's true. That is
It's it blows my mind. That is a
So
stat
we
that
are
blows my
changing
mind.
that, aren't we? The three of us
Totally.
and everybody
Yes.
else talking
Yes.
about it.
Now that
Yes.
now that we're talking about it out loud.
I mean,
I
it's
know.
so crazy how its time has sort of come to me.
Well, because something that I think we talked about at the Menopause Summit was how all these women. There's always going to be women coming up into this phase of life, right? So it's never going away. It's just going to be a new breed of women every decade or so, right?
Yeah.
You're so right, but I do see some things changing if we do this generationally. I'm going to preface this by saying there is never an age and skill level we can't get in front and build, right? That we can't totally change our health. Our bodies are designed for that. But if we talk about us generationally, we have the baby boomers and women my mother's age, she's 86, kind of got screwed. Actually, my mother's generation had hormones. They were taken away.
Yeah.
And now I just gave them back to her, believe it or not. But then there's the baby booming generation. Sorry, I swore on your podcast, but listen,
it's okay.
It's okay.
they are angry. Some baby booming women are very angry. They're like, are you kidding me? When I was going through this, they took estrogen away. I know,
That's me.
right?
I'm the tip of the last few years of the baby
You're
boomers.
the young baby boomer,
yes,
right?
and because I think I've talked about this before on our podcast that my mom had breast cancer, died prematurely. My grandmother's on both sides, so they were like, it wasn't even discussed with me. And I actually even see it with my sister, and that it's not even considered for her, even though she's like 6.5 years younger than me. It's like to give her a choice of, it just wasn't even offered. It wasn't discussed.
Right. You
I
couldn't
asked
even
about
make a
it.
decision.
They were like, no,
Right.
no,
You didn't have
no.
a decision to
and
make.
then I gave up until we started this podcast. I never even knew it was like offered. Like, it's still kind of like I need to correct that for myself. But
or even the lifestyle choices weren't discussed. Like, because you can control so much of this with, hormones are only one tool in the tool chest, as some people like to say, but it wasn't even offered like, okay, maybe you decide not to do this, but here are the other ways that you can feel better longer.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your book is kind of a version, I want to say, of Scared Straight. I was like, what can I start? I need to start now.
I need to do all the things.
Sorry.
I need to do all the things.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. So that, baby boomers are here, then Gen Xers. We're like, what? What just hit me? I am not going to stand for this.
Yeah.
But what I see shifting is I'm getting more and more older millennials. Like the oldest millennials are what, 44,
45?
Yeah, they're like
45?
40,
Yeah.
yeah.
They are so much all about this. And you know who I'm most hopeful for is my 30-year-old daughters and their friends.
Yeah.
Because they are so not going to tolerate this. And our work is going to be so advanced by then that they won't have to.
They won't have
Yeah.
to.
They're going to
just
know
won't
what
be
they
in-
want to do. They're going to know who they're getting it from. There's probably 6 apps that are going to be tracking
Yeah.
everything for
Well,
them.
I know.
And hopefully
Yeah.
there will be more doctors like you that are specializing in this menopause space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be able to like educate them and have the information. I feel like, as a Gen X, I feel like we sort of the information was kind of there. And I don't know if it's just me as a nutritionist and a trainer kind of, and again, I 100% the things I've learned in the last few years are completely not, I don't want to say opposite, but I didn't learn these things when I was in school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This wasn't a thing, but, and I'm sort of relearning and retraining my now midlife clients in a much different way. But my point I completely lost because I have brain fog and I'm in
I know,
perimenopause.
you know,
Really good. I've done that many times.
Oh my
No worries,
God.
no worries.
But no, I guess my point is like I think the education and the doctors being educated is super important because we didn't have that. Even though there
Yeah.
might have been some information out there, you couldn't find somebody who was willing to, go that extra mile with you.
Yeah.
So
Well, not only do we need an army, literally an army of menopause literate doctors, but I personally think that this is not the responsibility of the OB-GYNs. We kind of lump women's health on them,
I
and
think that's true.
they should be very good at delivering healthy babies and fixing urogynecologic things. But why do they have to be responsible for all health from the top of our heads to the bottom of our feet? It should be every doctor knows enough
yes.
to understand the trajectory of a woman's health.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say, don't you think that in any specialty you should
yeah.
have, you should
Yeah.
know that,
Yeah, and I was recently invited to it's such an impressive title of a conference. These people are so learned. The International Cartilage Research Society.
Wow.
I know. For some reason, this group of ex-wires, all men,
Oh, man.
identified a white space in their education, meaning we don't know anything about this. I was so proud of them that they invited me to come, and I dropped this knowledge on them. I'm like, you guys discovered this 100 years ago. What have you done about it? and at the end, they were a little bit like, oh, this is interesting. We should really, and I hope so. That was the
Yeah.
whole point of me showing up at their meeting was, this is what menopause and perimenopause is, and now what are you going to do about it? Because
Yes.
I'm done doing basic science research. It's your turn.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
let's get some men to join this
I
party.
know,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, we need them. We need
Yeah.
them to pitch in.
Right.
Yeah.
So in your book, you talk about aging, a training opportunity, not a decline, right? So what do you say to women like Lori who feel like it's too late, but they already have, maybe they already have joint pain or they're tired all the time, things like that?
All the things.
All those things. Well, the good news is that I think longevity and aging is not a time problem, it's a design problem. And that I see midlife in women as an opportunity to design our future, right? We can opt to just sit still and let gravity and physics take over. We know physics says that we will lose energy with time. If no new energy is reinvested into a system, we're just going to get slower and more decrepit. The reality is that the things I suggest, not only the science to educate people, the assessment that you guys did, but the whole second section of the book is about how to. This is an information book. It's actually a how-to manual. And when women come and see me, which they frequently do in my office, and I design blueprints for them, I literally say, turn to page 246. That's where we talk. Because it's the how-to. So if the basics of how-to are, other than pivoting our mindset, which we've talked about. You have to believe that there's hope for the future to invest the time. So pivoting a mindset, number one. But when we take action, there's this little acronym that I've used for quite a long time called F.A.C.E, F-A-C-E, your future. So the acronym F.A.C.E is what you do to keep your body moving. So F is flexibility and joint range of motion, right? Our muscles and tendons work at an optimal length. With aging, they tend to get tighter and tighter, and then you're more prone to injury or becoming one of those shuffling old people. You've all seen them on the streets,
Yeah,
right? Little
totally.
bit. It's just because their joints have gotten so stiff. We can prevent that progression by working in flexibility and joint range of motion every day, and it doesn't take long. The A, F.A., is our aerobic training. Our heart disease is the number one killer of women in this world, in the country, in the world. Our hearts still need to be trained. Do they need to be trained in the mid-ranges of burnout every single day? No. We need base training. And then for the most growth, we need really high heart rate sprint interval training. All the stuff in the middle that wears us out, we do it every day. We don't see much progress. People are wondering why they're in the same place now that they were. It's just how we did it for a very long time. But now we know the science is we really have to work at the top of heart rate and then give ourselves time to recover. And oh, by the way, that is how many athletes train, right?
Yeah,
It's not the
right.
same every single day. So F.A.C., carry a load, which translates to we got to learn to lift. And I want women in midlife and beyond to lift heavy, meaning for strength and power, not because there's anything wrong with lifting for endurance, which is where we lift 5 pounds 30 times. There's nothing wrong with that. But is our goal endurance right now? I don't think so.
No.
There's nothing wrong with lifting to hypertrophy, which is that mid-range 10 to 15 reps per set. If your goal is simply the biggest muscles possible, there's nothing wrong with failing at that rep range. But what do we need to stay out of a nursing home, to be strong and able to use muscles and bone as a longevity organ? We need strength, which is higher loads, fewer reps, and we need power, which means after we have acclimated to lifting heavier loads, which can take a minute, we need to vary the speed of our lifts, because what is the key to not falling down? It's being able to move a weight over time.
Yeah.
Right? So F.A.C. and then E, the forgotten element of fitness is balance and foot speed, because we may be fine until we fall down, and we're trying to prevent that. So all of those things, plus a little jumping, is how I prescribe. And you can do it at every age and skill level. You do not have to be a pro athlete to
Right.
train this way.
Talk about the jumping. The jumping makes no sense.
It doesn't?
Why? Of course it does.
But why does jumping
Fibroblasts, fibroclasts,
builds your bones? Like, it's just because
let me tell you. Yes, I love this topic. So bones are not only structural, bones are structural. I mean, think about it. I love to say this, especially to people who only talk about muscle. Listen, people, because I'm a muscle scientist. It's very funny. I had a muscle stem cell lab. Muscle without bone is just a heaping pile of metabolic tissue. Like it just sits there like a chicken breast. But with bone, we have form like we're a person, right? It's because of our bones. Bones are structural. Bones are the incubators of all your baby blood cells. Isn't that fascinating? Bones are the storehouse of all our minerals your whole body needs. Bones are master communicators, sending off hormones that communicate with every system in our body. But bones are always dynamically remodeling, meaning every 10 years you get a new set of bones. And the only way your body knows that you're not dead yet is when you're moving, because otherwise it doesn't know what we're doing. Bone is stimulated to remodel by impact, thus jumping.
Oh.
So what happens is you're jumping up and down. I'm like 20 jumps a day, jumping up and down. That biomechanical signal, that impact, is perceived by the bone cells. And the bone cell, called the osteocyte, bone cell, osteocyte, translates that biomechanical impact into a chemical signal that tells the osteoblast, the bone building cell, you better build more bone. She's jumping around again. And that's how that's it.
Wow.
The hopscotch on the New York City street, which
Yeah.
I filmed recently. I'm like trying to reintroduce hopscotch, some park downtown, is to stimulate your bones so that they don't think you're dead yet.
Now, I have a question on that. Someone asked me this, and I actually didn't know the answer, and I haven't looked it up because I thought I'm talking to you, so I'm going to ask you.
Let's see if I know.
Jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah. So when NASA astronauts come back from space and they've lost so much of their bone density, NASA has developed protocols using mini tramps or rebounders that will stimulate bone growth. Here's what you need to know. The bone is optimally stimulated to growth when you exert 4 times body weight on it.
Okay.
Walking is 1.5. Running is 2.5. Jumping off the last step on your landing is about 4 times. Or jumping up and down hard is about 4 times body weight, which was what you need. That being said, you will get some impact from a rebounder. And so it's better than nothing.
Okay. But it's not the same.
I'd rather you do that than do nothing.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked. Well, let's talk about the quiz. Let's talk
so
about.
we both took the quiz. Jen is much.
No, I think that I have
more
some
in shape than
I want
I
to ask.
am.
I have a lot of questions about it. I think that grip strength is something that I struggle with. I think that, and there's a few reasons, but one being that I'm definitely developing arthritis it's there. I see it. I feel it. It's oddly enough, it's itchy. I don't know what that means, but it's a little itchy. I don't know if that means it's like autoimmune. I'm not gonna go there yet.
I'm not impressed by the itchiness as part of
No,
It'll never kill you, so move on.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna. But anyway, so that is something that I know that I struggle with. But when I did the test, I was able to carry 35 pounds in each hand. Okay, so 70 pounds. I weigh. I don't want to say this on here.
Say it.
Are you talking about farmer's carry or
yes,
grip strength?
Farmer's carry.
Okay.
That's how I was determining my grip strength because I don't have one of those things.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
No.
that's how we both did it. I kind of guessed because I couldn't figure it out.
So that's
at
wrong.
home.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So our grip strength is wrong.
Yeah.
Well, grip strength is strictly tested by a little grip dynamometer. I can't say the word. $25 online.
Okay.
But
Shoot.
what you're talking about is the farmer's carry.
Yes.
Which, some longevity people say that a woman should be able to do 75% of her weight for 1 minute, which I don't think that's a bad
75%.
measure to
Yeah.
do. It's not one of the ones that has tons of longevity data. So the tests in the book, 8 of them, I said to my very smart a big data scientist that I work with in all my research, I'm like, here are the 8 longevity tests that are common. Let's search all the research. Let's find who has the best data and let's rank them according to importance for longevity. So we have VO2 max, we have BMI, which we don't love, but it's better than nothing. We have grip strength, we have timed walking, we have step up test, and a few more. And then we rank them according to what makes the biggest impact on your overall longevity. What does the data support? And so the top 3 are your VO2 max, which is your total fitness, your body composition, and your grip strength. Grip strength is a proxy. It's not actually about how strong your hand is per se, but it's a proxy in research for your total body strength.
Okay.
So yeah. And so
that's off a little bit.
So we didn't, so I wasn't, because we didn't have one of those.
That's okay. You don't have a dynamometer. I mean, so were you able to carry whatever, so the farmer's carry, were you able to carry whatever it was for 1 minute?
I was, but not well. Like it was, I was struggling. And when I did it a second time, I had to drop down in weight. So
Was it mainly because your thumbs don't work because of your arthritis? I know, I'm a surgeon. My thumbs don't work that
kind
well
of in
anymore.
my one hand it was,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not able to really grip very
Hold it.
well with
Mhm.
with this one hand in particular. But
Yeah.
okay, all right. So we're gonna have to buy one of those and really find out.
And I just want to say you interrupted Jen just as she was about to reveal her weight on this podcast, which
Nope, that's it. It's over. That moment has passed.
Actually, you know, Jen, what's important? Weight means nothing to me.
I know.
Percent body fat and pounds
Yeah.
of muscle. That's what we really
I know.
that's what we
Exactly.
really need.
Exactly.
So-
Even BMI. So
well,
we both
I
did
was
our
shocked. My BMI is 25%,
Oh, wow, good.
25.1, and
Very
hers is
muscly.
20. Yeah, I was shocked by that because I still, I've said this 1,000 times on our podcast that I've been on GLP-1s for more than a year, almost.
Have
year
you
and a
been
half.
proteining up though? Have you been lifting
not
and
as much.
proteining?
Well, I was very. Oh, look at this! I'm getting the face.
Thank you
now.
for asking that question.
I'm getting the face.
Thank you so
I'm
much for
getting the
asking that
face.
question.
I was doing really well, and then I'm not. I haven't been doing very well. I would say I had
so I'm not
cataract
going to scare the
surgery.
bejesus out of you, but
Yeah, no, but I am.
But do it.
But
But
you
do it.
did. Your book did because I realized how lax I've been because I was in very good. I felt like I was in good shape for me, and I was lifting, and I was
and
very
you
good
feel
about it.
good. I get
And I
it.
felt good. And then I don't know, I dropped off, and then I had cataract surgery, so I couldn't lift anything for a month or so. And so I do feel that I was off enough that I, like I said, scared straight. That's what that your new title is Unbreakable, Scared Straight. But yeah, I don't feel that so I was surprised. I still feel like my BMI is high for me, but I don't know. That was
Well,
surprised
and did
'cause
you,
feel like
there's
that's a bad
different
measure.
great ways to
Yeah.
get BMI. So the most accurate way is with a DEXA scan.
Yeah.
So if we do it on a scale or, one of those things in the gym, sometimes they're off by 8%. So it's just it's good for trends.
Yeah. And then talk to us a little bit about VO2 max.
Yeah.
So
That was the other thing. Like I was surprised that she was surprised that mine was low because I do
like it's almost inaccurately low.
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
what did it was 16.8, but I literally walk every day thousands of steps. Like I'm not the low end of the step count. I'm like 18,000, 15,000 steps a day.
Well, but how fast do you do that, right? So if it's a slow,
yeah.
leisurely pace, it's
Yeah.
versus challenging yourself. So I would think that 16.5 is inaccurate because that's the fragility line where
Yeah.
you're not fit enough to get up from a chair, and that's clearly not the case.
No.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah, I think that's
All right.
probably
That was my
inaccurate.
watch.
And
That
then
was
what
my
I was going to
watch
say,
was
what do you
telling
think
me.
about the accuracy of wearables to determine VO2 max?
Not so much.
Not so
I think
great.
it can give you a trend, but if
Mhm.
you really want you could do it the way there's the Cooper's test that I describe in the book, which is the furthest distance you can go in 12 minutes translated with a formula. Or you could, go to your gym or a lab and strap on the little mask thing and torture yourself for a day. But you know what? VO2 max is a critical assessment to know. It's the assessment of your maximum. It's the number one assessment of how fit you are, which means how easily you provide oxygen to your body. Oxygen is what your body uses to function. And there is this fragility line, meaning that below this line, you don't have the physical fitness to get up from a chair, which is you can't take care of yourself if you can't get up from a chair. And for women, it's 15 point something. For men, it's
wow.
18. So that's why I think this is
Yeah,
inaccurate.
I
yeah,
think so
that can't
too.
be
How you
right
did
for
it
me.
today.
Yeah.
Inaccurate. Because you're clearly not in that situation.
Yeah.
So, but here's why it's important to know in midlife or even when we're 30, because if we start out with a low VO2 max when we're 30, which many people will if we've been sedentary our whole lives, without intervention, we will decline about 10% a decade. And we never want to, before we die, get to the fragility line because then we can't take care of ourselves. And so it's good to have an estimate of it in midlife, then to know, oh my God, I have really got to get off the couch and get my heart rate pumping, build some fitness, because your numbers can go back up, because we don't want the natural history, which is 10% drop per decade, to put us below the fragility line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did notice that.
What was yours?
So when I did the step test to measure it, and then I looked at my my Apple Watch. So the Apple Watch, the step test gave me 47, and the Apple Watch gave me 37. So I'm like, I don't know.
47 is elite, actually. And so you might be that. You're a fitness person. 37 is, probably more reasonable. It's very good, actually. Yeah.
So the thing that is a little confusing to me is, and I've always had a pretty high VO2 max. I was a runner for a long time, and I used to measure people. I used to do the mask thing and measure people. And it was high back then. I remember I was like, somebody, we were training trainers and they were testing it on me, and they're like, that can't be right. It can't be 50 something.
I'm like, good.
Yeah, good. Yeah. But anyway, my question is, how does that correlate to your HRV? Because I consistently have a very low HRV, and I carry a lot of chronic stress, and I do think that I don't recover well. But if I truly have, whether it's 37, 47 VO2 max, why is my HRV so low?
Well, several reasons probably. HRV is not just dependent on your total fitness. It's stress plays into it. Your sleep. Did you sleep? What your inflammation from the day before? And there are many scientists who believe that wearable data is based on male data, and it's not directly translatable to elite women. Yeah.
So that might
That
not
old
be.
chestnut again.
We pull that out every time, but the reality is it's true.
It is true. It is true.
I know.
Yeah. And then, like you said, muscle mass and body mass is so much of a better measure than looking at BMI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What your body fat percentage is, and how much is at least 50% of your total weight muscle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I haven't had that done in a while.
I haven't had. We had
scan.
that done a while ago, and I'm quite a bit thinner than I was when we
but
had
you
it
just
done.
had another
Have it done
DEXA
again.
scan.
I just had the bone scan done, which I should look
The
at.
Oh, you
DEXA.
didn't. But the DEXA should
But I
show
didn't have
body
the
fat. No.
DEXA.
It depends how it was
doesn't.
ordered. Some will,
Yeah,
they're, just like this
mine only.
medical system. There are 4 CPT codes, and unless your doctor writes for
I
the one
know.
that gives your visceral fat, it won't be measured.
Oh,
I just
okay.
had bone density done.
Yeah.
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 So
Do you have
okay,
any T-scores? Spine total, lumbar spine total?
lumbar spine total.
For a T-score?
Oh, T-score. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's not a total. There's just a
Yeah.
per vertebrae.
Per
So
vertebrae, what's the range?
So it goes from negative 1.1 to negative 1.9.
No, and then I
Oh.
have a negative 2.1 there.
Oh, negative
So
2.1.
2.1 is the negative 2.1
It's the lowest.
Is the lowest.
And how about your hips? Is there a T-score for your hips?
0.1.
0.1?
Oh,
Is that good?
my goodness. So this is how DEXA scans are graded. It's like we're back in school and you're being graded on a bell curve, right? So you've got this big bell. The straight up number, the 0, is the bones of a healthy 30-year-old woman. Any positive number
Mm-hmm.
means you have bones better than a healthy 30-year-old.
There
I
you go.
know. Holy
There you
cow,
go.
ladies. Any negative number to -1 is okay, but -1 is the definition of osteopenia,
Yes,
which is weak bone.
it's indicated on there.
Mhm.
So your spine -2.1 is osteopenic, meaning we're going to build some better bone.
Yeah.
But it is not yet -2.5, which is the definition of osteoporosis.
Right.
So you can build better bone by jumping, lifting, eating high protein, getting
Right.
calcium in your diet.
Yeah.
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 So good job.
Wow.
Not bad bones at all.
Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad.
Okay, let's reel it in.
I know, sorry.
That's okay.
I mean, she's sitting right here.
I
It's
know.
like,
I
you
know. No, it's good.
No,
it's
I'm
no.
glad you asked.
It's good to
Everybody
know.
needs to know.
It's
Yeah.
good. I think that's good information.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a couple things that you mentioned in the book, the end point of neglect, joints that are cracking under their own weight. What do you see as a surgeon as the most common injury in that regard?
Well, I guess in midlife, if we talk about Arthritis as an injury, I would say by and large, that is the most common thing, meaning your joints feel stiff, sometimes warm, sometimes they swell, sometimes they have a deep aching pain, not a sharp stabbing, but a deep aching. You can tell the weather, which could be good if you want to bet on the weather, like my knees say. But I know, isn't that silly?
Yes.
That is by and large the most common. So what do we do about arthritis? What we do is get strong as a bull because our joints are dependent on the muscles surrounding them. Rest does nothing. Rest makes you atrophy. So we call it active recovery, which means we just got to get strong as a bull, butt, core, and hips, if we're talking about lower extremity joint pain. Number one. Number two, we're going to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Primarily, we're not going to eat any more sugar, which is going to inflame us. It's going to turn us like a hot cauldron inside. And when I tell my patients this, sometimes it's like taking away people they love. I'm like, listen, you get to choose. You choose pain or you choose sugar. And it's funny what people choose sometimes because sugar's addictive. I mean, and I understand that. I love sugar more than anything, but I don't eat it at all because I don't want to feel that way. But if you cut out simple carbs and absolute added sugar, in about 7 days, you can feel the drop of inflammation and feel better. And so, strong as a bull, anti-inflammatory diet. And then there are a bunch of medical things you can do for arthritis. The other thing that happens all the time is tendons and ligaments are very sensitive to estrogen. So about this same time, you're showing up with tennis elbow that you've never had. You don't even play tennis. You got tennis elbow, right? Or your knee, the front of your knees hurt, your patellar tendon, or your Achilles tendon in the back of your leg. And you're like, what's going on with all these tendon problems? Tendons have very poor blood supply. They do not repair. And when we're too sugared and we're low estrogen, they're just in a sad state. So you turn up with all these aches and pains. And people do come say to me, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm falling apart. Well, when it's a woman saying that to me, you're not falling apart. You're just probably estrogen deficient.
Right. So can you prevent arthritis?
Oh, yes. So how do you prevent arthritis? Well, number one, we make our hormone optimization decision, no matter what age we are. Number two, we stay strong as a bull, literally.
Yeah.
The muscles above and below our knees, for instance, prevent the hard banging, right? If we have carried an extra weight for a very long time, the joints bear 7 to 10 times body weight. So getting off 10 pounds decreases the pressure across your joint 100 pounds. So research shows you only need to lose 5 to 10% of your body weight to feel a decreased pain in your knees.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So it's not 100 pounds. It's just 10%, whatever
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that stimulates more arthritis is just overall inflammation. The bones and joints do not like in inflammatory states. And then there is the activity portion of it. Sometimes we try to do too much too soon, too often. And it's just the sheer repetition and load instead of working our way up to whatever activity we want to do. We just feel good the first day and overdo it. And then we're set back for 3 weeks. So I think a slow, steady progression is better than a big attack.
Yeah, I think always.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that about sugar and inflammation and all that. And logically, I know that. However, it's, as we're recording this, it's the week of Christmas.
Time.
And I have been eating Christmas cookies.
I mean, there is no better baker of Christmas cookies than Jen's mom.
Oh, my mom.
I get
Yeah,
my own
not
bag.
me. But
them.
I have been, and it is addicting. It's definitely, it's 5 times more addictive than cocaine, I think, right?
Yeah.
But I have noticed this week that this inflammation hurts so much more.
Wow.
So much more. I
Wow.
need to I need to pump the brakes on the Christmas
There's
cookies.
A couple more days.
Couple more days.
We were talking about the E of face.
Equilibrium.
Yes, and the balance. And it was something that I don't, I've been teased. I'm a klutz by nature.
A
I'm
long
teased
time.
by
I just feel
everyone
like
I know.
next time I'm in New York, I need to stop by and give you a lesson.
I know. But I am curious. I know. Well,
Push
you
her
were like
over.
talked about brushing your teeth with one leg. Like, and I was like, oh my God. But people tease me constantly. But there are all these things like on Instagram, all these like balance. Like, is there any challenges where you bend over and you put your shoe on, and then you tie your shoe on one leg? And I mean, is there any validity to any of those tests that you see that are on like any of these kind of like quote challenges of aging that have to do with your balance that are actually true, or should you be able to do them? Or maybe it doesn't mean anything.
I thought I was the only one posting about balance. No,
I know.
You know what? There are some standards of how long you should be able to balance on one foot without falling over, with or without your eyes closed, that have research behind them. I am not aware that the tie your shoe on one foot. I am not aware of that. Maybe that's a game. I mean, it's not a bad game, but maybe it's a game.
Yeah.
It was. We did it.
We tried it, which I was not able to.
Well, it was like you had to put your sock on first, and on one foot, then put on your shoe, and then tie your shoe. All of it being balancing on the one.
Right. Like,
foot.
or there's that one where you close your eyes and you're looking forward and you're like stomping in place
and see how far if you move
forward or back.
Do you know that one?
I'm going to say game.
Game. It's a game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say game. Right. I mean, nothing wrong with trying it, but does it infer longevity or fall risk? Not that I've read.
Exactly.
That's the question.
There you
go.
The question. So wait, just for a second about the eyes closed thing and equilibrium, and talk to us a little bit about, I'm just curious for myself, like I think that I have good balance until I close my eyes.
Well, and because, good point, balance is multifactorial. It's not just strength of your leg, right? That's one. It's about your inner ear. And do the little crystals that float around in your inner ear, are they actually functioning? It's about vision, right? It's all those things that go into good balance. So when you have all of those working, you can balance longer on one leg. But you take out one of the key things, which is vision, and you have significantly less balance. And so think about what happens. I mean, I never wore glasses before. I turned middle life. What happens when you really can't see to your balance? Well, it's the same thing as when you're standing up trying it for a game. You topple over.
It's true. I mean, I recently had cataract surgery because I had a terrible cataract in my right eye, and I couldn't get over how I had no depth perception. Like going downstairs was
very frightening.
Very frightening, especially like in the subway. And I have 20/15 vision in both eyes. It's like a new world. I mean, it's bonkers to me still. It hasn't been that long. But it is really how it affected that was worse than the not being able to see, because you just really were very unsteady on your feet.
Of course.
Like in New York City.
And you miss steps and then you fall and break a hip. Yeah. It's one thing after another.
Yeah.
So it's normal then if I close my eyes on one foot, that it's going to be more. Okay.
So we haven't only done this a couple of times, little rapid fire questions, things for you. I don't know how rapid fire they actually are, but I like the questions.
She likes when I write them.
I know. So, all right. So here's the first. What's one health myth about aging that makes you nuts?
That it's too late.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could only do 3 exercises for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Squat, deadlift, and bench press.
Oh, all right. Not jumping?
Deadlift is always in there. Not like jumping rope or anything like that. No, it's all about the lifting.
It's all about the lifting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What is currently on your grocery list that you consider non-negotiable for aging well?
Oh. One item?
All right, 3.
Give us a couple.
Yeah. Lots of protein. Every color vegetable. And I make sourdough every 2 weeks because it's not that I hate carbs. It's just that I don't want my blood sugar to spike, and sourdough doesn't. So, and plus it's therapeutic. I did post about it yesterday.
Yeah, I was like,
it's very therapeutic. There's something very, and you know what's so weird about it is that my starter is so alive to me, I can't throw it away.
Yeah.
It's like I'd be throwing a pet away. I
Like
got to
a
use
child.
all of it.
Like a
No,
child.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
A very close friend of mine also has like a sourdough starter that she's had, I think, since COVID.
Yeah.
But she makes these crackers out of it rather than the loaves of bread. They are delicious crackers, I have to say.
I
Try
love
the crackers.
sourdough.
You just spread it. You take the starter, you spread it thin, put it in the oven. You could put like any kind of seasoning on it, and they're delicious.
We have
I'll
a half
try
a
that
loaf
'cause
of
I can't
sourdough
stand to throw it
downstairs.
away.
Yes, she's
So
the
weird.
same. She's the
Yeah.
same.
I love sourdough.
Okay, go ahead.
Last one. So, okay, fast forward. You're 97 years old. What are you
Yes.
doing on a random Tuesday?
I am bugging the hell out of my youngest daughter.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
the best. That's the best.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I have to say, like, I was, when we first started talking, I love sports and professional, and the fact that you've worked with all these professional athletes, I was like a little starstruck by that, because I think that it's like
Not to mention her husband.
that
It's
your
a good
husband,
job. It's a good job if you can get it. Yeah.
and yet your husband won the Stanley Cup to me is twice.
Twice.
With the Penguins, he did.
Yeah, both times with the Penguins.
Penguins, yeah. My friend is a big Penguins fan. It's the only argument we've ever had was when the Penguins played the Islanders. It was Game 7 in the again in the playoffs, and we didn't speak. Although the Islanders did win that Game 7, I just want to add. But anyway, is there anything else you want to add, or that we haven't asked you that we should have? I think that we kind of covered it.
Sometimes people ask me if I have any parting words for people. And I think that if I could help women just understand that they are worth the daily investment. I think I may have said this to you before. It's just so important to me that, why don't women take care of themselves? Why do we invest in everybody except ourselves? And it simply doesn't mean that we don't have value. We just need to grab a hold of it and understand that. So that's what I want women to understand.
I know.
Thank you.
I love that. I mean, it did stay with me when we were talking about when in your book, and I think we said this before, like
You did. Yeah, we did.
we don't feel like we're our age. And I feel like that should be a little bit of the driving force.
She told us a story about Millie Hartung.
Yes, Millie Hartung being 60.
I'm making
and
this
I
woman
knew
famous, and
I know you are. But I think about that constantly, because I work with people that are all younger than me, almost, and that to feel that should be the driving force, is to always feel that kind of young.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, like you said, it's never too late. And I think people tend to, even clients of mine, when I'm training and, older women, and they're like, oh, do I really have to do that? Does it really matter? Yeah, it matters.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, the book is Unbreakable. I call it Unbreakable: Scared Straight. It will scare you into helping yourself.
It'll encourage you.
Encourage yourself to age well. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
being
ladies,
here.
for having me.
Love
we
this.
love talking with you. All right, we got the lowdown
On everything.
I
Everything.
know, on everything. I went over my bone density scoop.
Yeah, sure did.
I was like, well, we're sitting there with one of the leading orthopedic surgeons.
No, I absolutely. I don't blame you for doing that.
Yeah.
No, such great advice, such
I know.
practical information in her book. Her book is called Unbreakable. I'm just trying to get the book. I'm trying to
Oh, all right.
get the book over there
For those watching on
for those
YouTube.
watching.
Yes,
It's a great
Unbreakable.
book.
It's a great book. I mean, and it really is a how-to guide
Yes.
of what to do. There's recipes. There's what exercises to do.
She has all these like blueprints that you can for building bone.
100%.
But the jumping is something that
I need to do.
I do it all the time. I do my warm up is always jumping jacks.
Oh,
Yeah,
so jumping jacks counts.
jumping jacks counts.
Yeah,
You're
I used to
jumping.
love to jump rope. I used to
Me
be very
too.
good at it.
I used to teach a jump rope class.
I love jumping
Yeah,
rope.
that
Is
it
that
is
the
fun.
same? Jumping rope? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. You got to do it.
I know.
But yeah, she was awesome. I'm glad we got to talk to her more at length
I
than we
know
did
about it. Yeah.
previously. So
I know.
yeah,
It was nice that we had already like kind of met her in person.
Right.
So she like knew us,
Mhm.
So anyway, we hope you got something out of it. I'm Lori Schultz.
and I'm Jen Giamo.
And this was Everybody Talks.
Talk to you next time.
Take care.
For more information about our podcast, to learn more about us, or to catch up on all of our episodes, go to our website at everybodytalkspodcast.com.
Follow us on Instagram at Shirley, at Jen Giamo, and at Everybody Talks. And if you want to watch today's episode, go to our YouTube channel at Everybody Talks Podcast.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, join the Everybody Talks community and become an exclusive member of our wellness group. Check out the link in our show notes to learn more.
Don't forget, if you like what you've heard, give us a 5-star rating, write a review, and tell a friend. We're for everybody and everybody. The Everybody Talks podcast is co-created, executive produced, and hosted by us, Lori Schulweiss and Jen Giamo. Produced and edited by Station 16.
Our theme song music is written and performed by Jackie Ryle and Aaron Navisi, with additional support from our pups, Oliver, Milo, Murray, and Frankie.
Talk to you next time.